right, so we are unmuted.
Sent to you.
Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll go to that album. Oh, dude, that looks so good. All right, I'm actually gonna save this because I'm gonna show this to people. All right, so I'm gonna have to make sure it's cool to show this to chat.
Yeah, sure. Not right now, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can say.
All right. So we are live. Okay, so we got 16. We're waiting for a few more people to pop in. Can everybody hear us? It's going back.
Coinbound tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, round two for Coinbound. They sent us a scope of stuff that they want to do. Man, they got their shit together.
Big time. Yep. All right, cool. We can hear.
I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay, Levi, we should animate one of these with the Milton NFT avatar. That would be cool. Yeah, man. There's so many things in the works. If you know a good somebody who can animate with 3D software, that's just really, really hard. You know what I mean? Even you, dude. I know that you can do a lot of animating. But yeah, man, just let us know.
How many people on YouTube? 11.
Okay, yeah, we got 11 on YouTube, 2 on Twitch, and then 5 on Military.Finance. Dude, he's in Australia, so it's I've been hearing a lot of crazy stories about COVID down there. Is it like what they say on the news?
I'm clear all the way from Australia, boys.
We are amazing, man. It's good to get back in the saddle. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Between the businesses with both our side and then the hurricane coming through and kind of with just everything going on, it's just it's nice to finally be back. Okay, here it's not like the news. Yeah, dude. I mean, the news, it's the same everywhere. It's all sensationalized. So I get it. All right, so I'm actually going to scroll up, and there's actually a lot of questions. That this one here. You want to kind of hit this one?
The reward program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about the reward program, guys, I would if we want to just make a decision right now, I would say that it is not close on our roadmap just because we have this other initiative that we're going to really put a lot of energy towards, and then at some point we'll revisit the reward program. But there were just challenges everywhere we turned when we were working with. We spent money on developers to help us flush this out, and there were major challenges everywhere we turned with the reward. It would have been out of our scope to even implement based on the feedback that they gave us. And so I'm not saying that it's out, but we couldn't make the math work on the way that we wanted to do it with staking and some of the other components that would make it where it's a long-lasting product. And we just couldn't get to the bottom of where there was a real product there. So we just it's one of those things. I think I said it on the last AMA that For right now, it's tabled. I'm not sure if it'll happen at all, but I would say let's just take this out of the conversation. And for right now, it's on pause until we can revisit this and maybe a fresh set of eyes can look at it and we can figure it out.
Bitmart BOT is connected. There are some buys and sells on the Bitmart BOT that have been I've been testing actually today. So within the next 24 to 48 hours, it should be back in the saddle. So we have full control over the bot. It's not an outsourced product; it's in-house. So we should have no more problems after it's up and going. So 24 to 48 hours should be gravy.
Yeah. So the Paris Hilton had our plans for that. Just to back up a second. We are launching our first the President's Series, and the first one's going to be George Washington, and we're taking a little bit of a different. The approach is going to be pretty, I think, pretty unique because not only are we going to have Brad, can you put it up on the screen? The image, the first image, the more traditional one. So not only are we going to have things like, are you guys?
I think they can't see that yet. So
okay.
Let's see. What I'll do is I'll share.
So here's one example, and what we did was we worked with some people that know history really well, historians, I guess, with our existing team, and we found certain components out of George Washington's life that were instrumental, that were really important to him. And so this is one example of what we're going to do, and there's going to be animation to this. There's going to be transitions into other scenes, but essentially we kind of took the Purple Heart, we took the Betsy Ross flag, which was the flag at that time, the cherry tree, the type of gun that he used when him and his soldiers fought and won their freedom. And then we're going to have elements to these things, but these elements I feel pretty strongly about the direction that our country's going in. I think George would be too. And so when you can think about the number, we hope to be releasing an NFT every single day. Every one of these NFTs are going to be unique in spirit and look. And this is what we're going to try to do with this first president. It's not just going to be one NFT. It might be 100, 200, 1,000. And this is what's going to dictate some of that stuff. But this is the whole premise behind it. We're going to explore his life, accomplishments, and impact. We'll take a look at today's world through his eyes. We hope that George will inspire, educate, and encourage you. Each NFT will include a special offline component, access to major influencers. Like one of the things we thought about doing, and Brett, can you put the next picture up? Is we're going to take guys that are influential, that we think their values align with George's values, right? And we're going to implement these. This is an example. So this guy, there's a guy who wrote this book called Guerrilla Mindset. So look at what's in George's hand right now. This isn't a finished product, but this is just to give you an example of the type of diversity that we're going to have with these NFTs. And one of the strategies is this guy that wrote Guerrilla Mindset. He's got millions of followers on social media. And so we're going to try to insert ourselves into the conversation of what's going on through the eyes of some of these people that see the world the same way George saw the world, right? So it might, this guy's name is Mike Cernovich. It could be another guy, Grant Cardone. It could be a variety of different things. And we're going to try to marry. George Washington has a lot of famous quotes, right? A lot of things that he talked about freedom of speech, limited government, all of those things. So we're gonna take some of his most famous quotes and we're gonna tell a story through these images, and some of them are going to be fairly controversial. This is the way art is an expression of how you feel and what something is at a certain place and time. And we're going to look at the world today through the eyes of George Washington, and it's going to be probably a little bit on the edge, not because we want it to be to the edge, but it's just the world is pretty polarized right now. There's these different teams, and things are getting lost in translation. And so we're going to use our NFTs to tell his story and apply it to today's world. So that's one example, and you can see the diversity of the art with the NFTs. We're working with really fantastic artists. I think the story is going to be a great story. I think it's going to be relevant. And then once, there's going to be some transitions that happen from this initial image. And like the first one with the cherry tree. Yeah, go back to the cherry tree. And I'm just going to share kind of what, the insight in how we're looking at these things, just because, man, it's, we're only a few people here that are trying to brainstorm and come up with ideas. And once you guys, kind of understand what we're trying to do, then we'd love to welcome, we'd love some feedback from you guys on some ideas you have and how it can pertain to today's world. And we're going to keep it really, straightforward, dude. We're going to attack some real, complicated issues.
Real controversial issues too.
Yeah, controversial issues. But if you can imagine, in this particular one, when we're thinking about the transition, you see the cherry tree. Well, it'll be animated where we'll maybe zoom in on the cherry tree and then zoom in even closer to a cherry. And the cherry will drop from the tree. And when it hits the bottom of the screen, it's going to be water. And when that water ripples, it's going to transition into a new scene where George Washington is in today's world. And the people who the tyrants are, we'll have good guys who are big social media influencers, people like Rogan, we're going to integrate into this. And if we just use their picture one time, it's just a work of art. So we don't need to get licensing or likeness permission because it's a single work of art. And so we've pulled probably 50 of the biggest influencers that we know stand on the side that George would side with. And we're going to have some real shocking imagery that's going to display this and insert ourselves into the conversation through our NFTs, and with a large percentage of the proceeds going to help our veteran organizations. So that's the process that we're going to go through. And so if we wind up from a utility standpoint, let's just say we wind up using this Gorilla Mindset guy. He has one of these special paid email channels where you can kind of be in his mastermind group. And so as we're thinking about the utility, that would be the utility. That person who bought that NFT would have access to one of these mastermind groups that you can go. So we would provide them a coupon code essentially that would give them a 3 or 4 year subscription to this, or automatically renew every year. So now we've added the utility to it. We're bringing value, and we'll try to make the NFT image and the story fit the person who we're going to enroll these, and we might, with this guy, we might have 20 of these NFTs. We might have 20 with the Gorilla Mindset, and anybody who buys one of those 20 are going to get access to it, right? So these are some of the things that we're working out. We don't have all the details yet because this is getting done as we speak, but that's kind of the plan that we have moving forward. That's a total mill production. This is all of our artists, our illustrators, all of our creative people that are doing this, and then we have these media personality, engagements that are in process and working through with lawyers right now, with Taya, with Terminal Lands. But I think it's actually going to help things out when we release this first one. They're going to see the quality of the work and the story we're trying to tell, and I think it's going to attract other people to want to get involved with this and to collaborate on these things. So that's really the plan. And listen, guys, all of this brings attention that allows us to go do other things, that allows us to go do bigger things, to get, the money churning from these things is going to go right back into the project. So we can go spend money like we did on the NASCAR stuff. And, we'll make some real strategic steps, whether it's, having a PR firm that's out here pushing this stuff all the time, whether it's Coinbound, which is about $17,000 a month, where we have those guys out there just every month, just dialing in new opportunities to go put eyeballs on things, to where we can bring focus back to what we're really here for, and that's to help support veterans and veteran-run non-profitable organizations. So that's the direction. That's kind of where we're going, and that's the purpose. We have the 5% buy and burn, which ultimately can become significant, but then we have the cash that this is going to, that's going to churn off, that's going to allow us to go spend money, form relationships, and do the things that we need to do to operate and get eyeballs on the project. So that's pretty much, that's our roadmap, guys. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to stay super narrow focused on this and just continue to churn things out. We want to have about 12 to 15 of these NFTs ready in the queue. And then my plan is that we're releasing one every single day until we run out of ideas that we think are relevant. So we're going to be pushing this George series. We'll have graphics, we'll have animations, we'll have all of these things to push it out onto social media. And then we'll just, when we run out of that, we'll have the Paris Hilton hat in the queue. We're going to be working on that simultaneously because that doesn't include any licensing stuff. And we're actually already hired the guy that's doing the 3D model of the hat. And we're going to reenact that weekend at Bitcoin conference in Club 11, I think. And that was the idea we had. We would reenact that the club, it would be bumping. We have one of our local DJ that's going to make us some beats, and then the hat will fly in. It'll land on Paris's head, and then we'll auction off the NFT and the physical hat at the same time. They'll go together. So that's what our plans are for that.
Cool. 2 words: Coinbase NFT. Excuse me. If we can get on as a trusted creator, Mill would explode and stay big. Anything Coinbase is gonna make Mill explode. That CB name just makes any token explode. Yeah, so Coinbase did reach out to us, and I did reach out back to them, but it was still no response. But if there's anybody that could find me a contact within that department or somebody to talk to within it, we would love to talk to them about the project.
What else we got?
I'm scrolling down.
I agree with you, Judge Vipman. Yeah, we just got to get awareness to it. That's why the Coinbound guys are so important. I looked at the proposal just a little bit ago. Dude, we will be in front of everyone. And then I think they own this nonfungibletoken.com, which has a pretty big reader base. But they're having these guys involved and letting them help get this off on the right foot, I think is going to bring a lot of attention, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, they did say, we like people like BitBoy and a few others that they're working very closely with, but they're very expensive. And BitBoy he won't talk about any projects unless they've already have a little bit of attention already. So, how much for one NFT is the question.
Yeah, there's no Mill gaming tournament at all. We've scrapped that. There was all this cheating that was being done, and it just derailed it. And the more we looked into it, there's not been a lot of success on paid into tournaments. And so for right now, that's just on the shelf. I don't see us. I don't anticipate us getting that back up and going.
Yeah, I mean, all these things that we could, if we dissect the attention and put it on so many different things, let's get laser focused on this presidential NFTs. And reeling all the creators in, all the content creators that are in line with our goals, and then we can kind of branch out and take a look at other things. But yeah, so I did that wrong. Okay, so I
think on a single work of art, any legal issue using the Nike symbol, if Warhol makes a painting with Campbell's soup can, it's a single. That's why most of these that we do that kind of stuff will be a single work of art. It won't be anything that's sold what's considered commercially.
Any new CEX listing in a new future? So we are approved for DigiFinix. It's an incredible amount of money to put into there with not. So that's in the plans. We're still working towards that.
So I can show you guys the communication. The entrepreneur article should have been dropped 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. They said with crypto, you just got to be patient, but it's still in the works because we almost said just give us back our money and we'll just go on. The Forbes article, we just wrote the brief about the Forbes article. About the Forbes thing, and we needed to have this NFT stuff up and going because Forbes will not write about anything that's perspective. It's got to be actual something that you're doing, and we wanted this President Series to be included, and so the brief is written and it's submitted to them, and they say it's 8 to 10 weeks, and then the article drops. And Forbes is not going to be a problem because they write about NFTs all the time.
How do you guys see Mill rising through the ranks at the moment? It'd be a great idea, a marketing idea to get on the trade tables of aircraft this week, mind-blowing and advertising exposure. Yeah, so it's really weird when you advertise something with a normal product. You can have a direct correlation between the sale, like how much you spend in marketing and how much the sales are. With this, it's a lot different because you can spin your wheels and get a lot of notoriety out there, but it still doesn't equate to more holders in the project. So that's why this NFT route is really, really up, in Sean's wheelhouse, more or less, is because it's essentially a product. It's a work of art. So when we run this much marketing and then we have this many eyeballs on the NFTs and they sell, there's a direct correlation to say, okay, well, this is working. Let's steer it this way. And I'm not really after all the advertising that we've done, I don't know if crypto users are really on airplanes. I don't know if that would be the best place to put the money. We'd have to have a lot of metrics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, but I like it. I like the ideas though. I like the ideas. We just want to make sure that the money spent is in the correct demographic.
Yeah, so the Mill Token Army NFT, what our plans are is it is going to have utility. We just haven't figured out what that utility is yet. But yes, those we plan on those having utility.
Are you talking about the Mill Token Army?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we're not exactly saying what the benefits are of the Mill Token Army, but if you have a Mill Token, if you're a Mill Token Army OG holder, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be good. We released them at $0, and we did that for a reason. Okay.
A lot of this stuff on the NFTs, guys, it's in production, so it'll be a steady flow of information. We have a few more of these George Washingtons being completed right now, and then we're going to kind of put that out there with the story. I know there was a release went out on the wire today. I saw it got picked up by some news organizations, and it's just going to be a steady flow where everything is in production right now. Coinbound will help us a ton.
Shane, the NFT sound really cool. What about the Army Navy football pool where 1K goes to military family, 250 to a quarter of a square, to a quarter to the square picked? Man, I don't know football pools too much. That would be, I'm not sure, but how much is one NFT? So one NFT is going to be based on what the market will bear at that particular time. So what we'll do, and correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a great idea.
We're gonna with the football pool.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
We're gonna put it out for auction for a specified or auctions for a specified number of time. And while it's an auction, we're just gonna drive insane amount of traffic to it. That's the best way for any product, including something of a work of art too. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea for Shane.
Yeah. Yep. Where did you get that on Facebook?
Yeah, he's on Facebook.
Okay.
He's on Facebook. So I'll pop in some of these Facebook ones because Damien is on Facebook. What about the constant pump and dumps? Any way to limit the whales doing damage to us? Dude, I mean, there was a few whales that were doing quite a bit of damage, and they're out. But unfortunately, they did stop a lot of the momentum. But that's okay. That's all right. We'll never give up, and we're going to keep on going. It doesn't matter which way this tree branches. Eventually, the branch will catch. So.
When will the Army NFTs resume? Trying to get a legendary drop, but they intentionally stop with no info. Who's that? Moral Fox.
Moral Fox. There you go. When will the Army NFTs resume? Trying to get a legendary drop, but they intentionally stop with no info. Well, we stopped it until we could kind of regroup and then move to talk about maybe possibly move to another network. But there are going to be some benefits into an OG holder. But we'll go into that a little bit later. I don't really want to brush into exactly what that is, but yeah, if you're an OG holder, you're going to reap some rewards, some benefits. and they're free. They're absolutely free. So wait until the gas fee is almost nothing and pick one up because you're going to want to.
Is that it? Is that all the questions, guys? Y'all have anything else you want to talk to us about? Ask us. We're going to start doing these things. We'll start doing them weekly probably, or close to weekly. When we have an update, we can do them more than once a week if we have some a good update or anything. But do you have any other questions? Just because we haven't done these in a little bit, we just had our head down trying to figure out where we were going and just get our bearings again before we got up here and talked about anything. But you're going to see a steady release of things. Halloween night, everything will be leading up. We can get Coinbound engaged and ready to go like ASAP. They'll start building out everything, and when we hit the drop, hopefully they can get us on big AMAs. They're going to get us in big publications. So it sounds like they're the real deal, man. And we've checked them out pretty good. We've called some of their customers, and they're top notch to deal with. So I'm hoping we can work terms out with them. Tomorrow we have a call with them at 9:00 tomorrow.
Anyone ask for advertising? No, I mean we were talking a little bit about it before, but that was a cool thing to do. Put us on the map almost instantaneously, but it's really not in the cards for right now. I'm in on the football pool. That's awesome.
I knew Jeff Adams would be in on the football pool. I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So we just got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. And then Coinbase NFTs. If anybody can message me privately and then figure out, the best route. Let me see who said that. Let me go back up.
Thinking about that, we could probably, if we figure out how to do this football pool, we could just wait and do it for all the bowl games, dude. We don't even have to do it just for the Army Navy. If it looks like it's got traction, we can do this for all of them, all the football games.
Yeah, I think I've watched 3 sports in my life, so that's more in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So the Coinbase NFT, I'm actually gonna look into that Coinbase NFT. So let me get that. Judge, good call on that one, dude. I'm really intrigued on that, by the way.
That was Judge's idea?
That's Judge.
Look out, Judge.
Shane. Okay, so games for having some time to figure out how to do it. I'll run it on the whiteboard in my office. Here we go. So I'll run it by the whiteboard in my office and track as long as you guys manage money.
That's actually a great idea, dude.
I mean, I don't think I've ever done a football pool personally.
Yeah, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everything's rolling good, guys. So I guess we'll go ahead and cut it here. If you guys have any questions, just give us a shout. We just want to do a quick update, and we'll probably have more for you, towards the end or beginning middle of next week.
Yeah, if we have an update early next week, we'll jump back on here and we'll give we'll jump back on for 20 or 30 minutes. This is easy to do, and then we should have stuff to start sharing with you guys. And as soon as the Taya thing is done, the Terminal Lands thing is done, we'll put that in the queue. We'll keep you updated on the Paris Hilton hat, and how that's coming. And as we make progress on these things, we'll show them on these AMAs. But it's going to be really cool, man. There's going to be a lot of people talking about the stuff we're doing because we're planting ourselves right in the middle of pop culture and the whole thing. We're staying away from politics. It's going to be media. We're going to deal with the media, tech, and the pharmaceutical companies and try to shine a light on these guys just because that's it. Let's go, Brandon. Yep, that's it, brother. Let's go, Brandon.
I got something for Paris Hilton.
Who's got something?
That's Jeff.
Oh, geez, and Pete's.
Jeff.
That old Jeff Adams. You got to watch that old
Yeah, man. You got a high.
Let's go, Brandon.
Jeff.
Mar Fox, I like you.
All right, cool, guys. Well, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys know where to hit us up. We love you guys, and we're going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, hey, we'll start trying to get you guys stuff to go get new members, get some activity back in the Telegram channel. We'll probably run some contests and we'll think of some things. We'll go run. What was that platform that we ran those contests on? You remember when they go like and share and do all that stuff?
Yeah. We'll do some more contests on that. We'll do some more contests. And as well as all the marketing. I have a huge laundry list of everybody that we've talked to in the past, and some people have just they're absolutely scammers. They were dead accounts that they got money from us, and we could and it didn't do anything. But there's a whole lot of great content creators, great YouTube channels that we can still kind of pull in for these NFTs. It's gonna be great.
I think so too. Yep. Coinbound kind of wraps it all up, man. They'll bringing those guys on board is just going to help tremendously.
Yeah, Coinbound will.
So we'll hit this thing hard.
All right, thank you guys, and you guys know where we are.
Yep.